Hello. We're all fed up with our second-class life in Blair's third world Britain. I'm sure that you, like us, are sick and tired of all the problems caused by crime, asylum, the underfunded National Health Service and Islamic extremism. The good news is that by joining the thousands of people like you in the British National Party, you'll be helping to put things right. I'm sure that you'll be angry about some of the things we've seen recently in the mass media, where politically correct councils and Labour Party MPs and other idiots do things like banning St George Cross from the back of taxi cabs in case it offends foreigners, or banning Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in case it offends people who are very short, or banning Piglet in case it offends Muslims. It makes us angry too, and it's one of the things that we want to stop, this out of control political correctness. In this short DVD, you'll see for yourself just how much the BNP represents the views of the hard-working, overtaxed, silent majority in our country. You'll see through the lies of the politically correct mass media and find out that the British National Party really is.
Every year, thousands of us Britons go off to foreign lands on holiday. But it is just a holiday, and we come back because this is our home. This is quite different from the untold millions of foreigners who are now flooding here from all corners of the earth. And this uncontrolled immigration is literally wrecking our country. This has absolutely nothing to do with racism, because the immigrants are all colours: black, white, yellow, brown. But the one thing they have in common is that there are too many of them. We simply don't have enough housing or water and infrastructure to cope. We can't keep building more and more houses and roads for these new arrivals, because it never ends, and it displaces our wildlife and is damaging our environment. Planet Earth is a big place, and there is plenty of room for people to live in their own countries, and yet they all want to come here. The real question is why, and the simple answer is Labour is running a scam to import votes. Despite Labour's continuous drivel about multicultural enrichment, privately none of them believe in it at all. But they certainly believe in their six-figure salaries and stately mansions. By putting you at the back of the queue and giving immigrants everything, they ensure a never-ending supply of new Labour votes to keep themselves in power. And that's what it's all about. This is Paul Hindley, a plant manager from Manchester. Like you, Paul has become totally fed up with all of Labour's lies and broken promises. Paul is a solid working class, hard-working guy, doing a highly skilled job, and he will be representing you for the BNP on June the 29th in Staley Bridge Ward. We will come back to Paul later in the video, but meanwhile, here are even more reasons why we need to get rid of Labour. This is the Labour-run Home Office, which is responsible for the release of thousands of foreign national murderers and rapists onto our streets. The Home Office are meant to prevent illegal immigration, but they were actually caught employing illegal immigrants themselves with the full knowledge of Labour ministers. It is one big mighty scam, and it's you and your family who have to pay the price. This is happening all over the country in cities like Manchester or like London. And all the immigrants have to do is vote Labour, while your mum or your children are always put to the back of the queue. Labour are treating you with utter contempt, and it's high time we get rid of them. We asked random members of the general public what they think of Labour.
Can you tell me your views on the Labour government, please?
As somebody who's been disenfranchised from my pension, I think partly because of this Labour Party, I just feel that they've let me down. So I certainly will not be voting Labour.
Madam, will you be voting Labour in the council elections?
No, I most definitely will not. And the reason why I will not is because this Labour government is totally devoid of any form of honesty or integrity. They will waste taxpayers' money on frivolous things, whereas decent hard-working people who have been robbed of their pensions by this government.
Way time to go, although I've been a Labour supporter all my life. Way time to go.
Yeah. They have a huge problem in that it's been bad for a very, very long time, and it's a very difficult problem to unpick. But
they made a lot of promises and not kept one of them, basically. But they're very good at going to war, you know.
So you can see, people like you are completely and totally fed up with Labour.
Very simply, because the majority of people here are in indigenous nature. English, Irish, Scottish and Welsh. That's the only reason why.
And do you feel they're being prejudiced against them?
I never said white. Sorry?
Do you feel they're being prejudiced and discriminated against them?
I think they're being pushed to the back of the queue at the moment. Anyway, I'd like to move on.
All over the country, people are electing BNP councillors because the BNP is the only patriotic party in Britain which stands up for our fine traditions and what it means to be British. Many young men from Manchester were some of the bravest soldiers during the two world wars and died to defend our country from German invaders. Our country has also had great men like Admiral Lord Nelson, who defeated the French fleet at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Lord Nelson lost his own life on board HMS Victory in this great battle, but he did this to keep our flag and our nation safe. How many of these Johnny-come-latelys would defend Britain today? Remember, it was not so long ago that some of them even bombed us in our own country. But what is Labour's answer? Give them even more money and even better free homes. In Barking and Dagenham in London, Labour were exposed by the BNP for giving foreigners £50,000 in a scheme known as Africans for Essex. Local people there could not get homes for their families, and soon elected 12 BNP councillors and taught Labour that we, the British people, are fed up being told we can't fly our flag or that we have to come second place to immigrants.
Only the British National Party exposed the issue of Africans for Essex. Don't let Labour push you to the back of the queue.
So Christine, you're one of the new Barking and Dagenham councillors. How do you feel about that?
Elated. I'm really glad that somebody else has got in other than the Labour Party who can put a spoke in their wheel and try and work for the community instead of just working for themselves, as they've done for years.
And what kind of difference do you feel that you'll be making as part of Barking and Dagenham Council now?
To put the people's requests forward as to what they want their community to be like, and possibly as they want their community to go back to being like as it was a few years ago.
Excellent. So you're relishing your new challenge and a new opportunity?
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. I shall throw myself into it, you know, and keep going. I shall do anything that I can to make them realise what a good party the British National Party is, and it's for the people of Britain.
By voting BNP in this election, you will be standing up for your own children's future.
So Jamie, now that the British National Party are elected in this area and we're the second largest party as opposition on the council, what actual differences do you think we're going to be able to make on the council?
Well, the British people in this area, they now have representation within the council, Barking and Dagenham. People voted for us because they're sick and tired of political correctness, and it's our responsibility to put it right.